Well, it's what I've done all my life. My first coaching job, I was 16 years old in high school, and I coached a neighborhood girls softball team. And I just fell in love with working with young people and mentoring and trying to change lives. Winning games was kind of secondary. It's an awful lot of fun, but it just was been my life's work, trying to build people one at a time. You know, I took a job at Estruma High School as a coach, which is, in the inner city. And, I thought I knew that part of town, but I really didn't until I got there. I thought I knew. But when I got there and I saw the despair and the trauma and the blight and the violence and all of the things that make up certain parts of our city, I decided I want to make a difference. I had a young football player who was murdered in the streets of Baton Rouge, and one of 108. And I got to looking and I got to thinking, and I said, I just think we can do better. And basically, an agent of change and an agent of hope. And despite my lack of political experience, I've just felt at this time in history, Baton Rouge did not need another politician. And I thought they needed a coach, and here I am. It felt great. I mean, there's no way I'm going to say I felt confident. This isn't my arena, right? So I didn't know. So I believe those polls too. I'm like, oh, well, I'm third. I 100% believe them. I mean, those are political people that do those things. Only to later learn that you can't count on those things. It's hard to measure what people are going to do, really. So I was elated. So put it this way, when everybody's telling you you're third at best, and you come out with the most votes, that's a confidence boost, And so I felt really good about that. Now it was down to one-on-one with the incumbent, Mayor Broome, who's done a lot of great things for Baton Rouge. And it was a completely different campaign and election. It was different when there were 7 or 8 of us in there, and then when you're just down to one-on-one. But I felt good. My confidence was growing. I was learning a lot and more prepared for debates and forums. But I felt good. I preferred that part of the campaign, because it was more of a focus, on the differences. I mean, I thought it was smooth. I am a Republican, and everybody kept giving me that number as well, right? They kept giving me, hey, there's been 3 Republican mayors in the last 180 years, and you hear all that. But before I'm anything else, I'm Coach Sid. And I'm for all the people, and I'm balanced, and I'm a good listener, and I understand things, understand people's feelings and everything. So I know I was running as my own man. I've hired former police chief Jeff LaDuff as an assistant CAO on my team. And he is an expert in every level of public safety. And he has been working tirelessly, I'm talking up into the night, on some initiatives and things, working hand in hand with Sheriff Sid Gotro, Police Chief TJ Morse, our constable offices, and as well as the police units, in the various parts of the unincorporated part of the parish. So I can tell you, since I've been in office, everybody's working in every area, but on the law enforcement and public safety piece, that has probably gained the most attention. And stay tuned, we have more information coming. Right, we're gonna be talking a lot about that. Basically what it is the library has a $114 million surplus, and their millage is up for renewal. And what we're talking about doing, quite honestly, a lot of people feel like, oh, well, Coach is trying to take the library's money and put it on, on public safety or putting it on other things. Where there is some truth in that, that money belongs to the citizens of Baton Rouge. And all we're simply doing, it'll have to pass council if they're going to do it. And if it passes council, it'll go to a vote in October. Okay, so the people are going to decide what to do with their money. We are by no means trying to defund the library. Matter of fact, my commitment is our libraries will be funded better than any other library system in the state. That's my commitment. That will remain. But it's rededicating. So yes, we're moving the money from, let's just do layman's terms, from the library's account to the general fund account, where we can use some of those monies, public safety, drainage, stormwater, blight, our homeless situation, all the problems we have in Baton Rouge, we can use some of those funds, the public's funds. At the end of the day, it's this simple. It will be the citizens' decision come October, if it even gets to that, do they want to spread this money out even further into our parish? Well, I have to work on the previous administration's budget. I can make some amendments, but pretty much it is what it is for a year. But we are going to start a zero-based budget in my administration. We're going to start from scratch. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to scrub that budget and we're going to cut the fat. I want to see, is there any areas in our budget that there could be wasteful spending? I'm not saying there is, because we have not got deep dived into it yet. And that's the first thing we want to do is see, okay, where the money's going, what can we rededicate beyond the library, meaning that within our own walls. So yeah, I have priorities like any mayor would have, and we're going to push them, but we're not going to leave anyone out in the cold as well. Well, one thing we're going to start is we're going to be spending a lot of time at the Capitol, working with our legislatures and our representatives about, collaborating on some of this. I mean, I heard a rumor that there was a plan. It's not a rumor. There was a plan to widen Nicholson to parish line, and that got shelved. You speaking of Nicholson Drive, that's huge. That would alleviate so much traffic, and we're going to revisit that. We're going to let's look back at that. Let's get that back alive. But all over the parish, it starts. Our roads are in bad shape. Period. Even the ones that flow rather well, they're not in great shape. Some projects are not complete. Some have started. They're not, not completely done yet. So here again, it's a partnership of our local level, a lot of the repairs and those type deals, and we have an infrastructure transitional committee that I'm going to be meeting with next week on their findings. So at the end of the day, we have a traffic problem. We have lots of problems in Baton Rouge, right? Traffic's one of them, as well as maintaining some of these roadways, and we're going to prioritize and attack it. Here's what I'll say. Those that stay will be champions, because this is a different era. We're about to rock this town. There are some things we're doing and some initiatives that are going to be put out there real soon. You're going to be in a different Baton Rouge, and there'll be no reason to leave. Matter of fact, hiring in my own office right here, I have 3 employees under the age of 30. I think it helps keep me young. But youth is what's going to drive Baton Rouge, okay, at the end of the day. The folks you're talking about, the young people at LSU, Southern, BRCC, all those students, that's the future of Baton Rouge, and they're going to be the ones that are going to drive it going forward. So we just got some things. We got to come up with reasons to stay. Economic development, infrastructure, developments that we're doing. We have some big plans for the riverfront and things we're going to do that's going to make people want to stay here. But one thing we got to look at, people want to stay in a safe, clean, vibrant, economic-driven city, right? hence the rededication of these taxes. That's going to help. And let's say this, say it don't go through, right? It either does or it doesn't. I'm a coach, I got plan B. I always got one in my back pocket.